am Rebecca King from Quinsigamond Community College, and this month we are doing a special segment for Father's Day. We're doing burgers around the world. So we're going to do 4 different types of burgers, and all these recipes are pretty versatile as they can be done with either beef, chicken, turkey, or even a plant-based meat, something similar to the Impossible Burger, which would make it vegan for a lot of these recipes. So I'm going to do 3 beef ones, and I'm going to do 1 turkey one. But like I said, all these recipes can be done with any form of meat. Even some of them could be done with like a black bean burger or something to that. So I'm going to start first with my Greek burger. So the Greek burger we're going to do with turkey. But yet again, the recipe, you can do it with beef, you can do it with chicken, you can do it with turkey, any of the ground meats. Or you can even do a ground lamb for the Greek burger as well, depending on your preference. So any one of those ground meats are going to work out well. So I'm going to start with that one so I can get the turkey out of the way, and then we can just be cooking with the beef. So I'm going to do 90%. So typically ground turkey comes in a couple of different levels. The 99% lean tends to be not a good product to use with burgers unless you add eggs or something like that to it. So you typically want something that's a little fat. So the 93% lean is typically what I like to do, which is kind of a blend between the light and the dark. So it has a little bit of the fat in it, but it is still only 7% fat. But the fat-free or the 99% turkey will kind of dry out on you unless you really add cheese and egg and a lot of things in there, and then you're just kind of adding the fat back in there. So this recipe does call for 93% lean ground beef, but I'm going to use 93% lean ground turkey. So I'm going to add my turkey to my bowl, and then I'm going to change out my gloves and wash my hands because I'm dealing with the turkey before I go to my remaining ingredients. Okay, so the next thing I need is going to be 2 ounces of crumbled feta. So I've got some feta cheese here. And this is a half a pound, which is about 8 ounces. So I'm going to use about a quarter of what I have here to get to my 2 ounces. All right. So you just want the feta in this situation. So you can get the already crumbled feta if you like. I just happen to get a block. But you can get the already crumbled feta. You can buy that in the store in the container as well. All right, so I'm going to do roughly, like I said, about a quarter of this block without the liquid. Okay, so the liquid in the feta is typically like the salty brine that helps keep the cheese moist and fresh. So I'm just going to take my feta, I'm going to crumble it down with my hands. All right, so I've got my 2 ounces of feta there, nice and crumbled. So the next thing I'm going to do is a teaspoon of dried oregano. So just some oregano leaves. Believe it or not, oregano is not just used in Italian cooking. It is used in a lot of Greek and Mediterranean cuisine as well. All right, so that's my oregano. So the next thing I'm going to do is 2 teaspoons of diced red onion. And you're going to want to chop this onion a little bit small because it's going to go into the burger, so you don't really want too big of pieces. All right, and I just need 2 teaspoons, so that's not going to be a lot. So if I need it small, I'm just going to take my red onion, and I'm going to just do a few slices of that. And then that way I can just run my knife, get it nice and small, get that fine dice happening. Okay, and that looks like it's more than enough for my 2 teaspoons, but I do think I need some more onion for some of my other burgers, so I am going to set that aside. And I'm going to get my teaspoon. I'm going to do my 2 teaspoons of red onion. So at this point, I've got my 2 ounces of my crumbled feta. I've got my 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. And I've got my 2 teaspoons of red onion for that Greek burger. I'm going to set this diced onion aside and use that for another recipe. So the next thing I need is 2 cloves of garlic. And actually, I think I'm only going to need 1. And I need this grated. So I'm just going to take a little hand grater and cut the little end off my garlic. So I bought my tzatziki sauce already done, and I'm assuming that's where the other garlic is going. So I'm just going to do 1 garlic for now, which is going to go into our meat mixture. Just taking my hand grater, and I'm grating that garlic. Watching my fingers as I get to the end, because anytime you're dealing with the grater, especially a little sharp hand grater like I've got here, I want to make sure you're watching those fingertips, that we're not grating them. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my skin. My garlic. Alright, so now I've got my 1 clove of garlic for my meat mixture. Next thing I need is a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And that's right here. So I'm going to have a teaspoon of black pepper. Alright, and then I'm going to stop there because the next ingredients are the, if you're going to make the tzatziki sauce yourself, which is the Greek yogurt, the cucumber, and the fresh dill. Okay, so now I'm going to follow step 1, which is we're going to combine our meat with the feta. The oregano, that 1 clove of garlic, the black pepper, and the onion. All right. So now I'm going to take this meat and I'm going to mix it all together with my hands. So oftentimes with turkey, because turkey is so soft, you do want to add something to it. Some people add breadcrumbs, some people add eggs to it. In this case, your feta cheese and everything is going to hold this burger together a little bit better. So that's why you typically see turkey burgers when they're stuffed or they're mixed with other ingredients. It lends some shape and body to it. It also lends that little bit of fat to kind of hold it together. All right. All right, so I'm going to get my pan heating. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this turkey burger, because the turkey burger is going to take a little bit longer to cook. I'm going to do it over about medium heat. So you can pretty much just take your burger mixture, mix it just a little bit more. Okay, so let's take our burger mixture. And you can pretty much do whatever size patty you want. These are your burgers, as big as you like to make them, as small as you want to make them. I usually like to do them about the size of my palm, okay, with a little bit of overhang. Okay, so patty them together really well, get your sides kind of formed up there. All right, so pretty much the size of my hand. We've got our grill pan heating up there. So you would actually just patty these all up in whatever sizes you want. This was a 1 pound package, so if I do 3 of them, I'm going to get roughly a 1/3 pound burger. Most people, used to be a 1/4 pound. Most people are eating slightly bigger burgers now, so a 1/3 pound is typically a relatively good size burger. The turkey, you're going to get some shrinkage on there too, mainly because it is fairly lean. Okay, and I can smell my pan heating up. So you could do this on a regular barbecue grill, gas grill, charcoal grill, anything you've got. If you have gas flame or electric flame, you can even get an indoor grilling pan like I have here. Any of those are fine. You can even do a nice pan sear in a skillet. Finish them off in the oven if you don't have access to the barbecue, especially being here in the city. We don't always have the luxury of being able to grill anytime we want. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me get some spray. I like to spray the pan a little bit. I'm just going to give this a quick flip so I don't stick, especially with the lean turkey. I'm going to spray underneath there. Just a little pan spray is good. All right, so I'm going to let that cook up for a bit. I'm going to set aside my other 2. So the next burger I'm going to do is going to be from Mexico. So we're going to do a Mexican style burger while our turkey is cooking. All right. So I'm just going to periodically flip that turkey burger and keep an eye on it. I am probably going to finish that burger up in the oven once I get it's nicely grilled here. Because of the turkey, it is going to take a little bit longer to cook it all the way through. Because remember, turkey you want to fully cook to 165 degrees. So there's no rare turkey burgers. They need to be fully cooked. All right, so this Mexican cheeseburger that we're going to make is going to be a seasoned meat. So yet again, I'm using a 93% lean meat is what I typically like to use. I'm going to give my turkey burger a little flip here before we get measuring out. So we're getting a nice color on our turkey burger. All right, so I've got my meat in there, and I'm going to do So it's a 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar to start. Okay. And then I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of these diced chilies. So just diced green chilies. Typically you find them in the aisle of the grocery store. They're usually in the aisle that has all the taco supplies, taco shells, taco seasonings, things like that. So I'm going to get my 3 tablespoons of the green chilies. And they're fairly mild. They're not going to add a lot of heat to it. Just going to add a little bit of flavor. Some little zip pizzazz to them. Alright, so after that we're going to do some garlic powder, or granulated garlic. We're doing 1 teaspoon of that. Alright, so at this point you've got your 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. We've got our 3 tablespoons of green chilies. We've got our 1 tablespoon of garlic. Garlic powder, granulated garlic. So the next thing we're going to do is another teaspoon, but this time it's going to be of onion powder. So this burger is going to have some spices to it. It's not going to be spicy, but some spices are going to be in there, adding a lot of flavor to this meat. And some people say that's the big thing when you're using the leaner meats, like the 93%. Let me give my turkey burger another flip here. Is sometimes the flavor. So yet again, like the turkey, we tend to add flavoring to it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is smoked paprika. And that's going to be a 1/2 teaspoon of the smoked paprika. So this is going to, like I said, not going to have a lot of spice to it, but it will have a nice smoky flavor because of the smoked paprika and the cumin that we're using next. And the cumin, it's another 1/2 teaspoon. Love cumin. Nice smoky flavor with that too. Still keeping an eye on my turkey burger. Probably going to flip it maybe 2 more times. And then I'm going to finish that off in the oven. Alright. So now I need some salt. I did not add any salt. There is an optional that if you wanted to add salt and pepper to this turkey burger, you could. But I find the feta can be a little salty in its own right. So I didn't add any extra salt to that. Alright. So salt. This one doesn't have a lot of saltiness to it, so I'm going to add the salt and the pepper to this burger. Alright, so at this point you should have your 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese, your 3 tablespoons of green chilies, your 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic or garlic powder, your 1 teaspoon of onion or granulated onion. You've got your 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika and a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Alright, and then I've got my salt and pepper in there, 1/2 teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon each. So now I'm going to mix this mixture. So we're going to add all the ingredients to this. So we're going to add that cheddar cheese, those green chilies, our garlic, our onion, our cumin, and our smoked paprika. Okay, and then we're going to mix this up just like we did the turkey burger. Nice smoky flavor, good color. All right. Make sure we get that mixed together really well. It's going to smell a little bit like a taco. All right, so I'm going to take this apart. Caddy how many burgers you want to get out of here. I'm going to do mine about the same size as the turkey. Just make sure with this one, because you do have the chunks with the green peppers and everything, that you get them patted really well first. All right. Okay, so I've got my Mexican burgers all done up there. I'll change out my gloves. And I'm going to flip my turkey burger one more time. All right. And then I'm going to get a pan. Should I get a... Give a little spray to that too. I'm going to take that turkey burger and I'm going to pop this in the oven. Probably about 10 minutes. If you have a covered grill, you could just cook the turkey burger the whole time on the grill. But with this, because we have mostly just like the indirect heat around the edges of the pan and then direct heat in the dead center, I could just keep flipping this and flipping this. It would take much longer. So I just like to get a good sear on it in the pan. And then finish it off in the oven. It'll also stay relatively moist after you sear it like that. If you put it in the oven and just cooked it straight without searing it, you would actually end up with a drier product. So by doing that good sear first, you're in good shape. So I'm going to put a little stuff on my recipe. Start. I'm actually going to spray. And I'm going to start cooking my Mexican burgers while I move on to my bacon cheeseburgers. All right, yet again over medium heat there. So now I'm going to do my all-American bacon cheeseburger. All the while, just like I did with my turkey burger, I'm going to keep an eye on that and keep turning it. So I'm going to start measuring out my ingredients for this all-American bacon burger. So I'm going to need ketchup. You grab that. And we're going to do a garlic clove after that. So I need 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Well, that cut off. Just realized my recipe cut off, so I'm going to do my, I need some finely chopped onion again. Let me put the cover for that. Oh, there it is. Actually, I finally chopped onion. I probably have enough here from last time. So I need 2 tablespoons of the onion. Alright, so I have 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onions, and I have 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to need is the 1 garlic clove minced. I'm going to use my garlic press for my 1 garlic clove. Oh, I lost my garlic clove now. Okay, so Matt's going to give me another garlic clove, and then I'm going to do my sugar. Alright, so I've got my 1 tablespoon of sugar. Got my garlic clove. Try not to lose it this time. Alright, so up to this point, I've got my 2 tablespoons of red onion. I've got my 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I've got my 1 garlic clove minced. And I've got my 1 teaspoon of sugar. So at this point, my Mexican burger should be ready for a flip. I'm going to do that next. Nicely cooking there. So this one's not going to take as long depending on how you want it. If this is a rare burger, then I would probably take it off after a couple minutes on this side. I'm going to shoot for medium rare to medium, so I'm going to flip it probably a couple more times over the course here. I need 1 teaspoon of steak sauce. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of cider vinegar. Right. And I'm going to need 1 pound of the 93% lean beef. This is the 1 1/3 package. I'm going to take a little bit out of that. And I'm actually going to add that to my mixture over here. And get myself another bowl. Okay. So, next ingredient is buns. Then we have our bacon. I did an applewood smoked bacon here, thicker cut applewood smoked bacon. I cooked that ahead of time, so that's all set. And then we're going to do lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickles on top for that all-American burger. All right, so we're going to combine our ingredients. So we're going to combine that 2 tablespoons of red onion. Get a little spatula here. Just hand me, can you give me a purple one, Matt? I don't know the little ones on. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of ketchup to the 2 tablespoons of onions that we did. And I'm smelling that Mexican burger, so I'm going to give that a quick flip over again. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to just give that another minute or 2 on that side. Probably flip it one more time. And that's going to be done. All right. So now I'm going to do that steak sauce. The sugar. Oh, I have Worcestershire sauce here too. Hold on. Let me double check that. I missed the Worcestershire sauce. I need 1 teaspoon of that. That's why it pays to have all your ingredients out ahead of time. Then you know if you miss one. 1 teaspoon of that. Pretty common ingredient. If you're vegan, you don't want to put that in there. But you can add the onions and the other spices to it. All right, so that should be all. Then we just need to do the vinegar. Give this its last flip. And then we're going to pull that burger off. There's no raw ingredients in there except for the burger, so if you do it rare, medium rare, you're good, depending on your preference. So I like to just get in there with my hands. It's typically the best way to mix this, unless you have a rigid wooden spoon or something like that that you prefer. I just find it gets better distributed if you get in there with your hands. Okay. I'm just shut that timer for a minute when I finish mixing my beef. I will check the temperature on that turkey burger. All right. So our all-American burgers are going to be ready to patty. These go together pretty well. And my third one. Same thing, getting about 3 burgers out of this package, the 1 pound, to get us to that 3rd pound burger. All right, so I got those done. I'm going to pop this Mexican burger off. We're probably pretty well at that medium rare to medium stage on that. And then in turn, I'm going to start cooking while we do our last burger. Just going to get some of these chilies up out of here. As we're cooking here, just clean the grill a little. Do that pretty easily with my spatula here. My pot holder. And just put those bits right in the trash. Just like you would scrape your grill at home. just cleaning off those remnants. Put that right back on. We will get that All-American burger, which I'll spray it first. I always forget to spray, but you won't be happy when that sticks on there. Typically, our regular barbecue grills are pretty well seasoned, although they do make pan spray for the grills too. All right. Okay, so the last burger that we're going to do is going to be that bruschetta burger, or a caprese burger. And then once we're done with that, this is the much simpler burger. Just going to be lightly seasoned. Majority of what's going to make the caprese burger good is going to be how we finish it off. So I'm going to check that turkey burger's temperature. It looks nice, nice grill marks. Looks nice and juicy. Slowly tricking up to like 163. I'm going to pop it in just for a couple more minutes, just to make sure you don't have any pink in there. So probably just an additional 2 or 3 minutes. We'll get that temperature right up there. I usually like to get pretty steadily over 165 on that turkey burger. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the caprese burger. Okay, and with this caprese burger, we're going to take the remainder of our burger there. Same 97% meat. All right. And for this one, we're just going to season this with salt and pepper, and you can do it just to your liking. I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of pepper. And about a teaspoon of salt, because we don't have cheese or anything like that in here. Nice kosher salt. I'm going to get that mixed together. I like to mix it through. You can just season the patties if you want to, but I like to get it mixed all the way through the meat. I'm going to mix it through like same thing. I'm going to get those burgers patty, about the palm size. Yeah, can you hand me a couple patty papers? Just 2. I'm doing this on a little bit of a shallow bowl here. Just going to separate my patties. A little bit of parchment paper. You can do a piece of foil if you want. If you're doing it on a plate, you stack them. All right, so we're going to check that second turkey burger. Check. Should be over 165. So I've got my caprese burgers patted and ready to go. All right. So I'm going to flip my All-American burger there. I'm going to take out my turkey burger. We're going to give that a check with our thermometer. Remember, dead center. Make sure we go all the way through. Boom. We're hitting 170. We're good. But it's still nice and juicy. Nicely browned. Okay. So my All-American burger, I'm just going to give a couple minutes on that side because that one's cooking pretty quick. All right, in the meantime, we're going to work on getting our ingredients set aside here and make some room for assembling. And we're going to finish up the segment with assembling our burgers, okay, which should only take us a few minutes. So for Father's Day, you could pick one of these. You could pick two of these, as you can see. Kind of easy enough to make the mixtures ahead of time, the meat mixtures. If you like more than one of these, you want to do more than one of these for that father in your life, or if you're a father and you don't want to be cooking all day, you can do this stuff ahead of time. If you like to make your own meats, I'm just going to move this aside. All right. So this is my Mexican burger, so I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to pull off my American burger. I'm going to set that aside over here. And then I'm just going to get one of my caprese burgers on. Hurry my grill. Going to get a caprese burger on there. All right, so now we can work on the assembly of our finished burgers. So I'm going to start with that Mexican burger. So I've got some nice brioche-style hamburger buns. These are good size, a nice puffy bun, kind of a nice buttery flavor with the brioche. Makes a really good hamburger bun. So I'm going to do my Mexican burger there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do my cheddar cheese first. Hold on. This one gets sliced cheddar on top. So what I'm going to do with this, okay, and I'm just going to put that slice of cheese on top. If you really like cheese, you could do two. Just going to pop it in the oven for just a minute. If you're doing these on the grill, you can just pop them on the grill with the cheese on there. And that's not going to take long. It's probably going to take less than a minute in there. So I'm going to work on kind of getting that ready for when that comes out. So get my Mexican burger recipe again. All right, so what we're going to do is when that burger comes out, we're going to add our toppings to it. And I'm already melting. So it doesn't take long. So we've got our cheese there. All right, so this is when you can kind of have fun with the Mexican burger. So we've got our cheese. You could even put a couple of pieces. I think I'm going to do that. I'll put a couple of pieces of lettuce on the bottom. Okay. A couple leaves of lettuce on the bottom. I'm going to flip my burger. That's a crazy burger there. All right, so I'm going to get a spoon. And I've got just a little, you can do some fresh pico de gallo, or this is just a fresh chunky salsa, which means it has the fresh tomatoes, onions, and cilantro and all that on it. Drained, of course, so I'm kind of draining it off the spoon because it does come with its own juice or liquid. And then I've got some guacamole here. And yet again, you can make all these from scratch, but you can buy them pretty cheap, like this guacamole was 2 for $4 at the store. You almost can't even buy the avocados for it for that much. All right, so we're topping with our guacamole. If you wanted to, you could put some mayonnaise on here. You could put some spicy mayonnaise on here. You could kind of go however you want on that. Okay, so that's our Mexican burger, and that's done. All right, so we're going to move on to our next burger, which is going to be finishing off that Greek burger that we did. All right, so we're going to get another one of these nice brioche buns. All right, and for this one, same thing. We can kind of do that foundation of lettuce at the bottom. I've got some nice local lettuce, nice and crunchy, good size for burgers, not overly big pieces. So I'm going to take that nice Greek turkey burger, all right, and this one, yet again, like the guacamole, tzatziki sauce. This one I think they were 2 for $5, so I think it was $2.50. You could definitely use this again, putting it on some flatbread. If you're making a whole bunch of burgers, you probably have enough to go around. But this is a cucumber, dill, and garlic yogurt sauce, which is used in a lot of Greek cooking, specifically with the gyros, which is the Greek sandwich that's kind of rolled up in a pita that's typically made with lamb. So this is one of the sauces that you use for that. So for this one, we're going to do some of that tzatziki on top. And I'm going to do a nice slice of tomato on there. The recipe does say, or does show that there is, you can do some additional cucumber if you want. I think there's a lot of cucumbers in the tzatziki, so I'm not going to go too crazy with that. I'm going to pop a few onion rings on top here. I've got some nice purple onion. And if you wanted to, you can even do a few additional little crumbles of that feta on top. All right. And then we have our Greek style burger. All right, so I'm going to pull off my American burger here. And I'm kind of a cheddar girl. I mean, that's our bruschetta burger, sorry. My American burger, I'm kind of a cheddar girl. So you can do cheddar or American. I'm going to throw some cheddar on that American burger before I top it off. We're going to throw that in the oven for about a minute. And as we do that, we're going to top this bruschetta burger and I just have some fresh mozzarella. This is a pre-sliced one. You can typically get them. This is a smaller one. They make them in a bigger one, so if you're doing more burgers, you can get it what they have. I think it's a 16 slice in the full-size logs. This is just a ball. I'm going to drain off some of that excess liquid. So Just going to put a slice or so here of our mozzarella. Same thing. I'm going to pop this in the oven for about a minute or so. And my cheddar's already melted on my American burger. All right, so I'm going to get my bun going for my American burger here. All right, so I'm going to do my lettuce. We'll stick with our theme of lettuce on the bottom here. So we've got our nice American burger. All right, so this one, I'm going to have a little fun. So we've got that nice applewood smoked bacon. We're going to put a couple of those on there. And I like to, when I cook my bacon, I like to cut my bacon in half slices. It actually cooks up a little bit better, a little bit more evenly. And then they're perfect size for a sandwich or a burger. So I usually just take some scissors or a knife and I just cut those right in half. All right, so for this one, we're going to do some nice tomato and a few onion rings. And we've got our nice bacon, all-American bacon cheeseburger there. All right. And my caprese is just about there. Oh, I didn't put my pickles on. There you go. So now we've got our nice bacon cheeseburger. So our bruschetta burger, we've got our mozzarella just a little bit melted there. All right. And this one, I'm going to take this here. All right, so for this one, we're going to use basil. So we're going to kind of use the basil instead of lettuce. So I'm going to take a leaf of basil. We're going to put that right on the bottom. Just going to take the stem off. And we've got that basil on the bottom. We're going to put our burger on there. So we've got our patty. And then we've got our, we're going to do a nice slice of tomato on there. And then we're going to add another leaf of basil. All right. And then I'm going to take some of this balsamic glaze, which you can get in the store, typically in the oil and dressing aisle. Now it's going to open that for me. Thank you. Ugh. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to shake it up a little. this is basically just a balsamic vinegar that's reduced down, so it makes a nice little syrup or glaze to it. And you're just going to drizzle that right over your burger. And you've got your caprese burger. So that's pretty much the burgers around the world. So we have the Mexican burger, which we did stuffed with cheddar cheese and spices. And it has the fresh salsa, the pico de gallo, along with the guacamole on our nice brioche bun. Then we did our Greek and tzatziki feta burger, and we stuffed that with the feta cheese and the spices. And we did that with a little bit of lettuce, tomato, red onion, and some feta. And that we did with the ground turkey. Remember, you can do any of these with ground turkey, ground beef. The caprese would be really good with a ground turkey or a ground chicken. Our all-American burger, we did with the seasonings inside, so onions and some seasonings and some sauces with the ketchup and the Worcestershire and the steak sauce. We topped that with the applewood smoked bacon, tomato, onion, pickles, and then you could add whatever condiments you want. And then lastly, we have the Italian burger, which we did with some of the melted fresh mozzarella. We topped with some nice tomato slices, basil leaves on the top and the bottom, and then the balsamic drizzle. And that's pretty much our 4 burgers around the world.